Hey, what is up guys? It is Phantom here and welcome back to a brand new video everyone. And today I'm going to be bringing you guys 5 big mysteries in Wizard101 that were never expanded upon or given any explanation whatsoever. Now, obviously there are a lot of unique mysteries in this game and it was really hard to narrow it down to just 5, but I tried to cover all the important stuff. Anyways, with that being said, I mean there's a shit ton of, mysteries in this game, so let's just get straight into number 5. I think one of the biggest mysteries in this game really has to do with what school Merle Ambrose actually is. I mean, come on. We never actually get told by the big man himself what school he is, and we've never gotten any sort of information relating to it whatsoever. Like, does he belong to the Astral Schools, as, demonstrated by his cool uniform there? Is he like every single school in the entire game, like some sort of mixture of all the spirit schools, all the elemental schools, like shadow magic, balance magic, all that shit? Is he, Storm, because his outfit's like dark purple? I don't know. We've never gotten any information about it. What's really weird, I find the most weird about this is that it's a relatively simple question, and we've never gotten any information, like, relating to it whatsoever. It really makes you wonder, like, is he trying to hide something? Is there something our wizards should know about? Perhaps he's a Cabal agent who uses secret arcane magic to do his bidding. Maybe he has a million student wizards chained up in his basement that he drains magic from. We really have no idea. Seriously, this is an age-old question, and I find it really sus that it has never been answered. Seriously, it's just so strange that KI has just never said anything regarding what school this motherfucker is. Like, there's just so many possibilities, and honestly, I feel like if it wasn't significant, they would have just said by now, like, oh, he's like the Astral School, or oh, he's all the schools combined or something. If it wasn't that important, I feel like they would have said by now, but since this has been asked so many times, and they haven't said anything about it, it really makes me wonder. Now, I know this idea might be a bit old, but I've always wondered, could Morganth actually still be alive, floating around in space somewhere? Now, I know it might sound like a crazy idea considering we've already beaten her, she's already been defeated, blah blah blah, but come on. You have to admit, we've never actually seen her die. She's only fallen through the glass into space. She's never actually technically died. So, all she did was fall through the glass, essentially, never to be seen again, and never to return. But something I've personally always wondered is who's to say Malistaire can survive in space, but Morganth can't? What I'm referring to is at the end of Azteca, in the final dungeon of Xibalba, Malistaire himself gets sent off into space on his little space rock. And as you know, he comes back later in the Darkmoor questline, more powerful than he ever was before. So how come he can survive a trip in our favorite rocket ship, but Morganth cannot? Remember, Morganth was actually more powerful when she quote-unquote died than Malistaire was at the end of Azteca when he quote-unquote died. I mean, seriously, she was literally controlling the guy. Like, she had her, little pinky wrapped around Malistaire, and he was still less, powerful than she is now. Like, she had all of this power, and of course it was her undoing, and it was, her fault for falling through the glass, so to speak, but still, we never actually see her die, so who's to say she's still not, floating around, like, in space and everything, like, down here somewhere, It's just really weird, and, King Zell's never really touched on it, so I guess for now we can safely assume she's dead. But I've always wondered that, because it's very, very possible, considering, using the same logic as what happened at the end of Azteca, that she could still be alive somewhere. And honestly, I would love to see a Morganth return. She is a really, really great character, definitely one of my favorites in the game, and honestly, it would be awesome. It would be really, really awesome. And considering what we already know, it's possible to survive in space, so I've always wondered about that. Another mystery that has always boggled my mind has to do with what world the Gobblers were originally from. Now, I know Awesome the Sauce had a theory that the Gobblers were actually from the same world as Greyros was from, which I believe was named Caramel or something. Basically, a world that is entirely made out of candy, which kind of makes sense when you think about their eating habits and how absolutely fucking thick the Gobblers themselves are. However, the Gobblers mentioned their home world was completely overrun by witches, and Greyros herself never confirms or denies that her home world fell to those same witches. So, at this point, we really don't know what the home world of the Gobblers are, and we haven't really been given many hints by King Zell. If you guys remember, they wanted to name Wizard City New Gobblerton after they completely took it over, which begs the question, was Gobblerton the name of their original homeworld, or was it merely some sort of subset of the world Caramel? I don't know, man. This has seriously been a mystery for me for so long, and one day I really want to go to the Gobblers Homeworld and see what's up. Maybe we could have a whole plot line where we rescue, that world from the witches, and maybe the Gobblers can be permanent residents once again. I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't mind bashing a few witches' heads in, for these guys to get the fuck out of my street. and, you know, take their food somewhere else. Seriously, where the hell did they get all this fucking food? He just ate a building! This next mystery has to do with... Okay, where the hell is Santiago? Seriously, if you don't know who Santiago is, he is a character that accompanies you throughout Mirage. Well, not really accompanies you, more like kind of sits in this caravan here. At least I'm pretty sure this is his caravan, the one with Istar, because of course we were all allies and he was an ally and he helped you with some stuff, and eventually, you know, you'd come back to him for a bit of dialogue, you know, here and there, and he was a decently prominent character throughout the entirety of the world. And after you defeat Old Cobb and pretty much save Mirage from the Cabal's destruction and everything, you come back here and you come back to the caravan with Istar to meet up with Santiago once again to tell him about your success throughout Mirage. And he's just not here. Like, you literally come up to this caravan and it says, there's a little bit of dialogue, there's a little box that pops up down there somewhere saying Santiago, like, seems to be gone or something, or like you wonder where he was headed. I don't know, but he was gone. He's completely gone. He was a main character throughout a lot of Mirage who helped us with a lot of stuff, as I previously mentioned. And there's no reason why he would have just been gone all of a sudden. He did not mention leaving for anywhere beforehand. There is literally no reason why he should have left this caravan right here. We don't know what he was doing or anything. Now, my theory is that Santiago was actually the Bat the entire time throughout Mirage. Maybe just spying on us, seeing what our motives are, just scoping us out a bit, you know? And the reason why I think this is because if you guys remember the backstory of the children of Old Cobb, which we... You know, the backstory of the children of Old Cobb, and we went to this cave in Zafaria, looked at some different paintings, and it showcased a bit of information about each child. It said Bat was an alchemist, right? It said Bat was an alchemist as well as a shapeshifter, okay? And Santiago here in the caravan, his name was also the alchemist. He was also an alchemist, as well as he could have been a shapeshifter that entire time, and that's why he wasn't here. Basically, he left, never to return. And it's still been a mystery to this very day. And the weird thing is, though, that he might not be the Bat. And the reason why I think this is also because it's never mentioned, even by the Bat, when we eventually come to meet the Bat in Impera, that he was shape-shifting as Santiago. I feel like, you know, we're pretty good friends by now, and he maybe would have told us that, so it really doesn't make sense as to why he would keep this hidden. But to this very day, we have no idea where Santiago was. Like I said, my theory is I think he was the Bat the entire time, just shape-shifting as, like, one of these camel dudes, you know, just in one of these caravans. And obviously, he's an alchemist. So is the Bat, right? There's obviously some parallels here, but Bat never specifically mentions that he was shapeshifted to scope us out or anything like that, which makes me think it could not be him, but to this day it still remains a mystery as we have not gotten a complex explanation. So I've always really wondered about that, and I really hope to find out someday. And for our final mystery of the video, it is, what is the Nothing? Now, I know this one might be kind of generic, to especially put at the #1 spot, but you gotta admit this is probably the biggest mystery in the game that we have so far. If you guys don't know, and if you haven't played through the third arc or anything, there is just a mention throughout a lot of the third arc of this specific nothing that is coming to the spiral, and it is going to mean the doom of the entire spiral, and the doom of pretty much all things, including our fair wizard here. Now, this has not been expanded upon, because I think it's going to be in the fourth arc. It's probably going to be the main premise of the fourth arc, is going to be us trying to stop this nothing. But it has been a mystery for a really, really long time, and the main reason why I wanted to put it on this list is because we just don't know anything about it. It's still a huge mystery, and KingsIsle has barely said anything about the nothing. There's been a few quests that have alluded to this nothing, and pretty much the end of all things, which is, I believe there's one quest in the catacombs, as well as another one, I think, in the, like, in Mandala, I think, in Imperia, or something like that, or in whatever village they have there. I don't actually remember the name, but it's something like that. So, the nothing. I mean, let's be honest, there's nothing I can really say about it, because it just means pretty much the end of everything. Honestly, I have a mini theory that the nothing is this black hole here and it's gonna swallow everything, but like I said, there's just nothing to confirm my suspicions or anything. So we really don't know anything about the nothing, and it's just all we can do for now is really speculate, because this is truly one of the biggest mysteries we have had in this game. And yes, I'm sure it's going to be expanded upon in the new world, as well as just in the fourth arc in general. Hopefully that's coming, by the way, but I'm pretty sure it has been confirmed by KI that this mystery will be solved eventually in the fourth arc. But for now, all we can do is speculate and just reflect on how big of a mystery this actually is and how little we actually know about it. But that is pretty much going to be it for the video on the top 5 biggest mysteries in Wiz, everyone. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I hope this video, made you think a little bit about the game and maybe what's coming in the future, or just stuff maybe you just want to be expanded upon that hasn't been already. So anyways, that's going to be all from me, everyone. Make sure to like if at some point maybe you enjoyed the video, or maybe subscribe for more content like this in the future. I post all the time now that it's summer and everything. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be all from me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video in general. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care and peace out.